Today on this session, I am very fortunate enough to be able to try. A lot of people have seen this already, the Naughty Boy new Halloween special. This isn't a totally finished product because there will be updates on the flavour. I just wanted to talk you through. I'm going to try it now. Obviously we do stock Naughty Boy in store. I'm going to try it now, let you know my initial thoughts, talk you through the formulas, what we're going to do. So the kind of setup that we're going to go for is talk you through a product that we've got here at Dedicated, or that is coming at Dedicated, in and around for you to be able to try it sometime soon. I'm going to train, let you know my initial thoughts during my training, initial thoughts of the formula, and then I'm going to round it up at the end after I've trained. During training, there's a few chest machines that we haven't really spoken about in depth, and if we have, we've briefly done it and not put it through our full workout. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take a pre-workout, talk you through the formula, give a bit of education as to why I'm trying it, things I like. If there's something about it I don't like, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm going to have a little session, talk you through the machines that I'm going to be doing and my little workout there, and then round it up as a generalised what I liked about the session in terms of machines, pre-workouts, everything involved into it. And then we're going to make this a weekly thing. We're going to change up. Naughty Boy will be on here because there's a loads of content I want to do. Specifically, personally, I'm going to be taking Power and I'm going to be taking Sick Pump Synergy along with others, but right now this is going to be the limited edition Halloween special. The first initial smell was unbelievable. It's going to, from what the smell is, I'm going for a marshmallow flavour. It smells unbelievable. The taste is really, it's actually quite pleasant. My first initial sip, I'm going to get the formula up now. I felt as if I could taste the ingredients in there, but the more I actually drink of it, the more pleasant it gets, which is actually a good sign. But this isn't going to be the final version. This is just going to be a flavour update. These flavour updates from Naughty Boy, if you've ever had a Naughty Boy product, you know the end flavour is absolutely unbelievable, and that just doesn't come by throwing darts blind. It comes from tasting it, trialling it, making it better, improving it, and keep on going until we get the actual end result, of which, if you've had a Naughty Boy product before, you know what I'm talking about. So this actual product is, if you've ever had Menace before, it's nothing like that. It's a limited edition, it's a brand new formula, and it's got some unbelievable aspects to it. So I'm going to run you through the formula. It kicks off with 8 grams of citrulline, so straight into the pump and performance this blend is going to be. 8 grams is the very, very high end of where you're going to take citrulline. Citrulline will convert into arginine then go on to nitric oxide, which is going to give us the vascularity pumps that we actually take this pre-workout for. Put that into perspective, you're virtually, if you get, normally you might get citrulline malate, so say if you've got 8 grams of citrulline malate, and if you've got it at a 1-to-1 ratio, that's actually only giving you 4 grams of actual citrulline, which is what we're after. Here we get 8 grams, so it's like a conversion of 16 grams of citrulline malate, so convert that as to the product you're taking. If you're taking actual citrulline in your product and it doesn't say malic acid, you're more than likely going to be finding it between the 2 and 6 range maximum. Here we've got 8, so absolutely no complaints there. Then this is the first time I've actually tried it, is Hydro Prime. So it's a form of glycerol. So glycerol works a bit differently than citrulline. It draws water into the cell to bring you a bigger, rounder, fuller pump. The benefits of Hydro Prime, and as far as I'm aware, and I'm quite confident to say this is going to be the first product in the UK with Hydro Prime is the fact that it's extremely good mixability in the powder. If you've ever taken a decent dose of Hydromax, glycer size isn't too bad, but can still be prone to it. You can get some clumping, and now if it doesn't clump too bad, sometimes with a high dose of glycer size, more to the point of Hydromax, it can change the density of the scoop powder. So when you're doing 2 scoops, it might not actually be the amount of gram you need to make the formula fit. So with this, we're getting that extra reassurance that what you're putting in, I don't know whether we got this on film, but it's a really, really nice fine powder, to the point I couldn't really tell glycerol as a form of what I knew it was actually in here. So I'm really happy with that. We have 4 grams of beta-alanine. So I'm assuming in a few more sips I'm going to start tingling. That is the ingredient, like I say, is going to be tingling. So another point, people say clinical, and the range that you want to try and get in a pre-workout is 3.2 grams. We've got 4 grams here. Beta-alanine is going to increase levels of carnosine, act as like a lactic acid buffer. So this is going to help me train for longer. My sets are going to recover faster, and I'm going to be able to train longer by having this. So I'm really happy by taking beta-alanine. It's something that I also take in power, so I'm really happy with that. Betaine anhydrous, it's along the same mechanism as glycerol, drawing water into the cell, making us hyperhydrated, giving us a fuller, rounder pump. That's got 3 grams, is exactly where we want it. So we've got 5 grams total of ingredients that's going to give me that style of pump, which personally is got to be up there with my favourite, because I like big, full, round. When I'm taking a pump ingredient, I want to feel big, full and round. I want to feel I know where I'm training, I know what I'm training. So that's absolutely perfect for me. So right off the bat, we have nitric oxide, we have water, hyperhydration, and we have endurance. So this is perfect. We have nitrox at 500 milligram. I think this is the biggest dose I've seen in a UK product, which I'm really happy with. This is going to increase ENOS, so it's endothelial nitric oxide synthase, which is going to help with the citrulline, convert more nitric oxide for me, which I'm really happy with. And then we tip that off as the first part of the formula is Elevate ATP, increasing levels of ATP, which is our cellular energy source, which is really what we want to do, and increasing performance. So right off the bat, if I stopped it there, I'm getting really good pumps, I'm getting really good performance, my time to exhaustion is going to increase, I'm going to be hyperhydrated, I've got more carnosine for lactic acid buffering, and I've got more nitric oxide and ATP, so I can't ask for more. Then we go into what I would say the nootropic side of it. So we have 2 grams of tyrosine right up there, we're exactly where we want it. That is going to convert and help me with my neurotransmitter production into dopamine. This is something that we want to do. We want to increase levels of dopamine, reward, motivation, energy. We want to kind of stay away from serotonin too much, modulate it but not too much. So pushing the boat out into the dopamine is really where we want it at 2 grams. We have choline synergy, which is very specific to Naughty Boy. If you've taken a Naughty Boy pre-workout before and had it in, you'll know the benefits of combining alpha GPC, which is a source of choline, and CDP choline, which helps with extra dopamine release. So this is something perfect for what we want to do. I love CDP, I love alpha GPC. Getting the combination of both at 600 milligrams is going to give me really ultra clear focus. So I'm excited for this. We have Canna Ease. I'm another quietly confident, I think Naughty Boy the first to bring Canna Ease into the UK as a UK made product, which I'm really happy with. Canna is Sciletium tortuosum, where it may be named as well, is a phenomenal ingredient, something that I actually take. I'm looking around the office, I've got a packet of it. It's amazing. It works with vesicular monoamine transporter agent 2, so it helps with releasing of monoamines, which during the session is exactly what I want. I want to increase levels of neurotransmitters to help focus, but it will also, this is where it changes slightly, because it's going to reduce anxiety as well. There's some studies on Sciletium tortuosum that monitor the threat response from the amygdala, so calm that down to actually help social anxiety. This ingredient can work up to 77 receptors into your brain, so it's a really wide ranged ingredient. It's going to have multitude of effects, and it is a 5-HT reuptake inhibitor as well. So with the social anxiety, with the monoamine releasing agents, I'm really forward to taking that at 50 milligram as well. It's an ingredient you can dot around in all different types of products, and it will have a synergistic and beneficial effect for you. So I'm really happy to be taking that. And then 20 milligrams of saffron, which I don't think I've seen in a pre-workout at all. I've seen it in maybe a nootropic also. It's going to increase levels of dopamine and norepinephrine, and there's a very strong acetylcholinesterase inhibitor. So what I said before with the alpha GPC and the CDP choline, increasing levels of acetylcholine, which is going to be the neurotransmitter for memory, focus, motor control, all the stuff I want to be doing. We're going to have the enzyme block that destroys it, so acetylcholinesterase, we're going to block that with saffron, which is phenomenal. We've got another acetylcholinesterase in here as well, an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor later on, which I'm going to talk about. But saffron's been compared as an antidepressant, anti-anxiety. It's been compared with Prozac in a study. It's been compared with pharmaceutical acetylcholinesterase inhibitors, and it's really stepped up to the mark. So this is, with them 2 ingredients what I've spoken about, the anti-anxiety, I don't like to say antidepressive effect, but that's what it's been studied for. This is going to change a whole different style of feel from what you think you're going to feel from this product, because a lot of people have seen these, but you won't have really had the combination of saffron and Canna Ease before. So This is just with the acetylcholine as well, and with the increased availability of dopamine production from the tyrosine. This is something that is going to feel unique, and I will just mid saying this, and I know I'm a few minutes in, I am anticipating this to be the biggest release of 2020, not only for Naughty Boy, but the most hyped and the best release for me personally of 2020. But I'll keep you updated to that throughout the session of trying it, and after the session when I sum it up. We have 2 ingredients to increase the ability of absorption. So we have bioperin, which is a CYP3A4 inhibitor, so it's a cytochrome inhibitor, so it's increased the availability of the ingredients when it's in our system. And then estrogen, which is going to increase GLUT transportation, so it's going to be in our gut, it's going to help the transportation of amino acids and stuff like that. So again, that's been shown, I think, with citrulline alone to increase the absorption or the availability of citrulline by 45%. Now, that's at 50 milligrams, we're getting 100 milligrams, and we're getting 8 grams of citrulline, so it's going to put you in a point where you've probably not felt it before, which is what we're taking this for and what we wanted from a limited edition. And a side note, this is going to be one of the best limited editions. I'd confidently say, looking at the formula, this is the best limited edition I've personally seen. Just waiting for the effects. I'm starting to get the tingles a little bit from the beta-alanine. But obviously, the things I'm saying now I will confirm throughout the session and after the session as well. I haven't had stimulants now for 6 to 7 days, so for what I'm feeling now is going to be more of a realistic effect of what you will be feeling. I didn't want to come into this really stimmed up, caffeine tolerance up there with the tops of it. I wanted to actually feel what this is going to feel like, so I haven't had this for 5 to 6 days, so everything in here is going to feel brand new to me, which I'm really happy about. Then we have a proprietary blend. This is the stimulant, so it's not get you straight away from the proprietary blends what you think it is. A normal bad proprietary blend would be if this whole thing was proprietary blend, you didn't know anything that was in it. We know the expensive ingredients, we know all the pump ingredients, the nootropic ingredients, we know exactly every dose of these. Here is a bit of a hidden magic. The bad side of proprietary blends is when you have an ingredient that needs a really big dose and you don't have the amounts in that proprietary blend, if that makes sense. So let me explain it. If you have 5 gram proprietary blend and you have citrulline in it, it needs to be at least 4 grams. You know you're getting sprinkles of the rest. What we have here is every one of these ingredients, milligram for milligram, will have a profound effect on how you feel about this product. So, give me a second, I'm going to drink some more. So, absolutely fine with it. I'll talk you through, it's got caffeine in it, which obviously is going to be one of our main stimulants for adenosine receptor blocker. We've got juglans, which you'll be quite familiar with. We have Urea Durentis in this sample, which I'm happy with, to be fair, because Urea Durentis I've tasted by itself is awful, but with this, as you can tell when I'm drinking it, no wincing, there's no nothing. It's actually quite pleasant and it smells unbelievable. We have cola nut let me take a step back actually. Urea Durentis will help the dopamine release and the uptake as well. So enhancing dopamine release, enhancing motivation, enhancing energy, which is really where we want to be. Cola nut, which is going to provide us some theobromine in there as well. So it's a little longer acting sister of caffeine, I'd say. I think I'd go by that, yeah. So it's going to block adenosine receptors like caffeine, but over just a longer period of time. So when I feel, I'm assuming I will feel a bit of longer duration, little smoother stim, and I want to carry on training, it's going to be down to these ingredients as well. We have hordenine, which is an MOA inhibitor as well. When we increase levels of dopamine, it's going to be kind of taken down and limited by MOAB. By having hordenine in here, like the saffron and the ingredient I'm going to speak about next to acetylcholine esterase, this is what we're doing to monoamine oxidase inhibitor B. So we're going to increase levels of dopamine even further, so it's a really well thought out formula. And then the ingredient that I've hinted at a few times is huperzine A, which I know personally is very expensive, and it's a really, really, really cool ingredient. It's an acetylcholine esterase inhibitor as well. So that and the saffron is going to be able to increase levels of acetylcholine for me to help that memory, to help that motor function, help that crystal clear focus, which is exactly what we're doing it for. And that is all summed up in one formula, which is going to be available very soon.